it load. Ah, try again. Turn it off and try again. Go back and get this in. Sorry, John said it failed on that. I don't know why it just takes off.
Come on, you can start.
There we go. Perfect. You type Ian and then hit enter because there's no enable password set. Do a show run, make sure that you can see your name, if, and your security levels and everything else. Okay? Perfect. Now, first thing we need to do is on this interface, which is E0, our gigabit Ethernet 0, we need to give it an IP address, name it, bring it up, so we can have connectivity to our PC. So, big T. Interface, gig, 0. IP address 172.21.10.1 class C. Name if inside. No shut. Exit out. Ping inside 172.21.10.1, which is me. And then .2, which is my PC. I can hit both. So that's good. Okay? That's real good. I need to do a couple of things. I need to get that ASDM over into my flash. The ASDM bin file. So, those of you who don't know, who don't already have it, go to csu.edu//VRBrown, the iOS ASA. Make sure that you get the ASDM 715.100.bin file and download it. Take said file. Oh, actually, excuse me. Make sure that you have the Make sure you have TFTPD64. Okay? Make sure you have that. If you Google TFTPD64, you'll find the website, download it, install it. Once it's installed, launch it. Come down here to settings. Under the TFTP tab, under security, select none. And then you have to select your base directory. That's where that ASDM file needs to go. So you have a couple different options. I like to put everything in just my C:\temp directory because that's where I have everything. Or, even better, put it in the iOS directory that GNS3 looks at. It doesn't really matter as long as you just keep track of where everything is. So I put everything in C:\temp. To double check that, I go to C:\temp. Actually, I have it on the iOS, so I got to make one slight correction. C:\temp /temp /iOS. Okay. None. Okay. Don't worry about it if you get a DHCP router thing or problem. Just click OK. Make that go away. You just go here to global, take off syslog, take off DHCP, click OK. So now I also need to tell it what interface to listen on. I need to have it listen on that 172.21.10 network. Alright? So you just keep that over the other side. I keep this over to the side so you can see what the file name is, which is the ASDM 715.100. Alright. Now from the ASA, I'm going to copy that ASDM file into my flash directory. First off, let's take a look at the flash directory. Show, flash. There's all my files. A log file, a core dump info file. Okay? Here we go. You don't see an ASDM file there, right? So, I need to copy from the TFTP server into the flash directory. So the command for that, write this down, make a note of it, commit it to the gray matter. Copy TFTP flash. Copy TFTP flash. Enter. What's the address of your TFTP server? Well, it's that cloud that I made, right? That was 172.21.10.2. Good job, you guys are paying attention. What's the file name? ASDM 715-100.bin. It's case sensitive, by the way. Hit enter. What's the destination? Keep the same thing. So if it's in brackets, all you have to do is hit enter. If it's in brackets already, all you have to do is hit enter. Is it not working? Thank you. Sometimes it doesn't like working with these switch thingies, these virtual switches. Let's do it right, mem. Let's try off. And link him directly to the PC. Temperamental sometimes. Yeah.
I keep trying to ping to the cloud, but it's not responding.
Okay.
Mine does the same thing, but I was able to get the TFTP server to connect, and now the ASDN right.
Firewall. That's my next thing. I'm going to check firewall. I thought I had my firewall turned off. I could be wrong. I could have it. So, a lot of times when dealing with this, since you're dealing with a lot of different interfaces inherently on your system, it's just best to turn the firewall off until you're done. Since that all works, come over here, control panel. I find Windows firewall. Yeah, I thought I actually had it turned off. Yeah, you wouldn't have this. Why can I not find the firewall? Windows firewall. When in doubt, go to the service and kick it, turn it off. Not a super easy. All right. Yeah, it's not going to allow me to turn off my firewall, therefore it's not going to allow me to do what I want to do. I knew I shouldn't have run Windows updates. It was working fine until I did that.
I think that's what happened when you updated Java. Did you say something about updating?
Yeah, I had problems with Java a lot.
Professor Brown,
Yep.
if we have the option to do all this in a router instead, does that make it easier?
You have to do it all command line. So
Okay.
that's going to be step number 2 here in about 5 minutes. If I don't get
Just do that. I just started on the router.
Well, look at there. I like the 603, but not the 715. Interesting.
So in GNS3, when you write this command, it'll hold that in the flash, correct? Cool, so we don't, every time we load it, we don't have to.
You don't have to do this step again once you get it working. So,
And then ASAs, for username and passwords, you don't use secret, it's just username,
username and password,
Password.
secret is
it's
implied.
routers only.
So, exactly.
Okay.
All right, so now once I got that over, to show flash, you see I have that ASDM file. Okay? So let's just do this real quick. Copy TFTP flash again. Same. Let me try the other one. ASDM dash 715 dash 100 DIN. All right, we need to be kicked, I guess. Weird. So you get a bonus here. You're going to learn a little bit about the file system on an ASA or a router. It's a couple commands that you can do to manipulate files, move files, copy files, delete files. Once this is done, I want to go with the 715 because it's the more up to date ASDM. Watch me run out of space moving that. Real bad.
Did you have to update the agreements? Is this something you can send?
No, it's one or the other, doesn't matter. Okay. Now, let me also talk about a Java issue that happens. You will have to go into your Java console and allow Java to communicate with the address of your ASA. Okay?
Do that in a site list? Or?
Yep, it's a site list. So if I go back to control panel, and I go to my Java settings, right? Under security, right? See my exception site list? I need to put in 172.21.10.2 HTTPS. So I can edit that site list and add another site. All right. Click OK. Otherwise, you will get an error. So that's under Control Panel, in Java, Security tab, add the IP, HTTPS:// the IP of your thing. All right, so now, do a show flash. Now you see both of those ASDM files in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the 603 one. So delete flash / ASDM dash 603 whatever. I'm just hitting tab complete. So it's delete space flash : / file name. You want to delete it. Confirm it. Do a show flash now. It's gone. It's gone. Alright, so let's configure this bad boy so we can use the ASDM. Now we've gotten an IP address on the interface. We've gotten the ASDM file moved into Flash. We now have to do a couple more commands in order to bring it up and use ASDM. Okay? So go into global configuration mode. We have to type in ASDM image, and then that flash file name. We got to point it. ASDM space image space flash : / file name. You have to turn on your HTTP engine. HTTP server enable. HTTP server enable. And finally, you've got to tell your HTTP engine what networks you're going to allow it to be accessed from. What networks you're going to allow the HTTP engine to be accessed from. So I only have one network, so I need to tell it that that 172.21.10 network is usable. HTTP and then the IP address of the host or network authorized to access the HTTP server. So 2.1.10.0, and then the subnet mask of that network, which is the class C. And then, last but not least, the name of the interface, which the name of the interface is inside. So that's the full command. HTTP 172.21.10.0 255.255.255.0 inside. Okay. Now, you need to set up a username and password in order for you to be able to have access to the website. So, just like in a router, user. No. Actually, if you go back to the lab, I rebooted, didn't I?
I forgot it.
All right. So I have a couple of username and passwords here in Lab 3. Let's go ahead and make do this one here, the root, because we're giving it privilege level 15. So we need to do that. Username root, password GNS3, privilege 15. You need to do that so you can gain access into the ASDM. Do all that, write to memory. Now, here's the fun part. Open up a web browser, or web tab. https:// and the IP address of the inside of that ASA. 172.21.10.1. Do the whole exception thing. I like Firefox, it works better. It should work okay on Chrome too. Now you can install the ASDM launcher. What I found works really well is just go down here to run ASDM. You'll see a Java real-time launcher. Go ahead and just open it and click OK. Java will start. You'll get this little, hey, do you want to continue? Of course you want to continue. Then you want to run the application. Your username or password will start up. So what was my username? Root. My password was GNS3. And your UI launches.
That's the screenshot you want?
No, this just makes it to where you can configure this bad boy a lot easier. Screenshot be damned. This makes configuration of the ASA like smooth. Really smooth. Okay, so for example, let's go back to the lab. Okay? So, step one, create your device, give it IP addresses accordingly. Okay, I've done about half of that now, right? Everybody agree? I've gotten the inside interface, but I haven't done the outside interface. So you remember all the commands that you had to do for an interface. You had to do the name if, you had to do the IP address, the no shut, and security level. Check it out. Configuration, device setup, interfaces. Here's my interface. So I want to make G1 because that's when I connected to the outside switch. Let me expand this so you see a little better. I'll just tab back. All right. So let me select that. Now we hit edit. Interface name, outside, security level, 0. IP address. Is the IP address on the thing? Oh, tab over here. 10.20.10.1. Tab back over. 10.20.10.1. Just class C. Boom. Okay. Once that's all done, hit apply. That applies like you hitting the enter key. Alright, now let me show you the really trick stuff. Okay, it's like David Copperfield time. Show run. There's my Ethernet 1 interface. But hey, what happened? It's still shut down. Okay, well, come back here. Let's look at this bad boy. Let's edit it. Enable interface. That's your no shut right there. That's your no shut right there. Apply. Do the show run again. And now it's on. Look, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Some people like the GUI, some people like the command line. I don't care. Guess what? You get the same result at the end of the day. And that's what matters. That's what matters. All right? Next step. Did you need something?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to be done. I have some stuff for you. You have a break coming up?
At 10.
Okay. I'll let- Yeah, no worries.
He said he might have a break.
Okay, what do I need to get in their firewall or something?
Yeah, they need you to log in and take care of some stuff currently. So drop patches, holes.
Lovely.
Yeah, I'll make a phone call and see what priority.
Now, you're going to be in the telecom lab?
Yeah, I'm in telecom.
I'll be over there when I'm done with class.
Sounds good?
Thank you. All right. Next. Assume that the 10 network is outside, 172 network is inside. Label these interfaces. I did that with the name IF command. Done. I've made one user. Let's make a couple more users. Now I can do that in the command line. I showed you how to do that in the command line. Here's how you do that in the UI. Okay? A couple different places you can do it from. But it's best to go to device management and users AAA. Alright? And go down here to user accounts. So you see where I have root. I can add another one. Tab over. So I need to have admin, password Apple. And then the privilege level. 1. Okay? Okay. See? Perfect. And I'm going to add my other one, which was guest. Change me 0. Now, all along the way, once you get stuff done, don't forget to hit apply. And before you quit for the day, make sure you hit save. Okay? Apply is like hitting the enter key after the command in the command line. Save is doing the right bit. All right, now, check it out. These next couple of lines here, 4 and 5, are directly related to the remote access VPN. The remote access VPN. So I want you to create a VPN using TripleDes, ESP, and your pre-shared key of Cisco 123. Okay? So here's how you do that. Typically, you would have to create a transform set, create a group policy, create some access lists for your split tunneling. Let me show you, and this here is the reason I like the UI in the ASDN. You don't have to worry about that stuff. As long as you're armed with the basic information like what I give you in the lab, go up here to the wizard and go to the VPN wizard. You're going to do the IPsec IKE remote access wizard. Where is the tunnel going to terminate? It's going to be on the outside. Okay, and you want to make sure that you have that first box checked. You want it to bypass any filtering that you're doing. Okay. What type of client do you want to use? You can use a couple different clients. I'm going to use the Cisco VPN client. It's on that website under the iOS VPN. You can download it. So I'm going to set that up. What's my pre-shared key? Let's go 1, 2, 3. Now, what is my tunnel group name going to be? I did not specify that. So you can create whatever you want. All right? So I'm just going to make this RA VPN, Remote Access VPN. RA VPN. How am I going to authenticate users? Am I going to use a AAA server or am I going to use the local database? I didn't specify, so use the local database. I already have these 3 users in here. I don't have to add another one. You could have done the second step with users here when you set up your VPN. Done the same thing. Although you had to go back and set their privilege levels. So I do not have a DHCP pool set up for this group right now. Now, if you remember, if you read through the lab, this is why you should read through the lab before going through and just starting, you know, A, B, C. What do I have you do? In step 7. Set up a DHCP pool, right? So you can do that from the VPN as well. Okay, do I ask you to name it? No, so you can just name it whatever you want. I don't have one, so I'm going to hit new. I'm just going to type in DHCP pool. DHC pool. Doesn't matter what you name it. You're starting an IP, now I do tell you that. 172.21. 1.25 is excluded, so I can do anything from there up. So I can start 172.21.10.26. 172.21.10.254. So net mask was class C. Okay. Next, my primary DNS server. Let's see what that was. 192.168.20.16 and 204.186.20.53. Domain name or anything like that on here? Nope, that was it for the DHCP. So I'll click next. All right, step 8 is kind of important. It is kind of important. All right, you need to do step 8. I know it says optional, you still need to do it. You need to click on this box that says enable split tunneling to let remote users have simultaneous encrypted access to the resources identified above and unencrypted access to the internet. Alright? So I'm going to have them have access to the inside network. And I need to select the inside network here. And put that there. Okay. And then with the Diffie-Hellman group, enable perfect forwarding secrecy. All right. It does not say this in the lab. It is best practice to use Diffie-Hellman group 2. All right. I don't care if you're using SonicWall, Checkpoint, ASA, Juniper. You get better results or better performance with Diffie-Hellman group 2. I have found. That's it. Click finish. So, see, I did 3, I did 4, I did 5, I did 7. I'll do 6, 8, 9, 10, and then I gotta do the VP and client. Alright, so, quick. 6, set up your device to use SSH. That's really easy. Device management. Management access. ASDM, HTTP, Telnet, SSH. Come here to the first one, hit edit. Alright, that's fine. You need to add one for just SSH. So add, select the SSH radio button. That's going to be on the inside. What network is allowed to do it is allowed to gain access. Go ahead and put that inside network. Click OK. That's it. Apply. Six is done. 8, set up a standard access list on your router to deny any IP traffic from that network. So, here's what we do with that. Under firewall, access rules, here's where you set up ACLs. So it says a standard access list. Well, under my outside interface, see that? I'll come over here and set up an access rule. Alright. The source is from that one network that we previously defined. 87.21.34. 128. 25. We're going to deny this. Yeah. I don't need to have user on here. Alright. That's all I have to do. Just the source address to set it up as a standard access list. Just the source address. Okay? Alright. Now, I have to set up a PAT, a port address translation,